Hey, what's up? It's Jack, and welcome to episode 15 of the Road to World Record series, where I document my progress towards breaking the world record in solving as many Rubik's Cubes blindfolded as possible within 1 hour, but usually accurately, hopefully. So yeah, for this week, I went a bit harder on practice because I only did like 2 attempts last week, and I had a competition on the weekend. So on Tuesday, I started out with 30 cubes. I did this weird mix of like my new view system and my old one. Can't remember why. I think I spent a while on this new thing that I kind of wanted to still use a bit of it, but it ended up being kind of trash. I think I forgot 3 cubes entirely, so it didn't work out too well. So I was kind of like, well, shoot, I have to switch back to my old system again for I swear it's the 3rd competition in a row. So I was kind of like, damn. So yeah, second attempt, another 30 cubes. This was the day right after. Switched back to my old system entirely this time, I believe. I still kind of pushed Memo pretty hard because I was kind of used to doing that beforehand, but that kind of meant that my recall was pretty bad because I think I spent too much time checking the cubes and not practicing actually recalling them, which has always worked pretty well for me. So yeah, execution was terrible, I think 18 minutes or something, and I forgot a bunch of cubes once again, so it was 23 out of 30. Then the day right after that, so I did 3 30 cube back-to-back attempts. Instead, I just went back kind of what I did beforehand. So I did, old view system. I checked cubes. I tried to practice recalling the cubes without checking them as much as possible. So memory time was 43 minutes, which was I guess acceptable, just adequate enough. And execution would kind of revert back to what it used to be, which is sub 25 seconds per cube, which is pretty rad. And I ended up getting a 27 out of 30 in about 55 minutes. So that was pretty much my goal, straight up my goal for the competition on the weekend. Another 27. Not too bad. Scraping 28 or something because that was a pretty solid attempt. So I was yeah, cool. So on Friday I just took a break from multi-blind to let my room just kind of chill out. And just all the dank images and stuff just vanish, hopefully. Yeah, on Saturday evening was competition, and I also practiced these attempts around the evening just to kind of help me get used to that kind of situation. Usually I exercise and work out around 3 o'clock in the afternoon though, so I tend to just kind of wait maybe an hour or so before I did the multi-blind, because I felt if I did it right after exercising, I'd feel too alert compared to what I'd actually feel at the competition after a long day of competing, I think it probably paid off because that was kind of what I did feel in the competition. I was feeling a little bit tired and all that. Yeah, as planned, I went for 30 cubes. So the first pack I covered in about 11 minutes, which was I think probably the slowest I've done the first pack in quite a while. But the first pack is the one I'm the most concerned about when using this system. Because I think I mentioned it before, but on my former personal record, which is a 24 out of 28, I felt I was checking my first pack too much in the last review, which meant that I was really unconfident with my memo for that. So I felt it was okay, and I'd have to somehow make time up in the next few packs, which in the past has always been pretty bad. I've talked about the whole compounding effect where I just progressively get worse. This time I actually improved on the next few packs. I think I ended up getting 9 minutes on the second pack and 9 to 10 minutes on the third, so I somehow managed to bring it back, which was kind of interesting. I think I consciously tried to push my memory a bit further, maybe on the second and third packs, I don't even remember, but I somehow managed to go a bit faster, which is interesting because that normally doesn't happen, but that kind of, I think, brought things back to schedule a bit, and then I just reviewed all the 3 cubes. I think Memo was definitely more solid than that 28 cube attempt, so that was pretty nice. Then I went through the 6 cubes at the end, and Memo was about 43 minutes, which is pretty much on target. It's just the last practice attempt I did before doing the competition. So yeah, just some interesting, I guess, notes. I think just before I started execution or something, or a bit beforehand, I moved one of the cubes down here, upwards. The reason why is because I'm really used to having my first pack up here, and the second pack down here. But I've recently swapped it around, so first pack's down here, second's here. But for some reason, every attempt, I swear I always accidentally start off here by accident, so I moved this cube up a little bit as a physical reminder to not do that, and well, it paid off for sure, because you can probably see if you slow mo it that I accidentally start up here, then I realized my physical reminder, oh wait, shoot, this isn't my first pack, and I just start down here instead. It it weren't for that, I might have DNF'd all the cubes, who knows. But yeah, power of physical reminders, I guess. They're pretty useful. Yeah, I just started executing. Honestly, execution pace was a lot slower than I expected. I don't really remember why. I also messed up a cube, I think, and I didn't even realize the DNF until like, I think later on when I realized that I had like a similar like image in another cube to that messed up cube. And I kind of realized, wait, I used that cube's letter pair for that image in that cube when this cube had something different in it. But I didn't really want to like, you know, slingshot my attention to a million different places, so I just kind of set it aside to this pack here to do at the very end, and I just carried on. So yeah, that was pretty clutch, as you probably saw later. And I managed to solve, I think I screwed up a cube here, I don't remember what it was, but I managed to solve pretty much everything else. Went through this last pack as well, and yeah, I think it was down to these last two down here. This was the cube that I like screwed up earlier, but I realized that and I wanted to fix it later. This was the last cube. I think on the last half of the last cube I had like a mental blank. I was like, wait, shit, I remember my edges. Then I was kind of contemplating going to this cube to maybe fix this one up and go back. But once again, I didn't want to like slingshot my attention to too many different places at once, because ultimately that just, it's not really effective use of like, I guess, your brain space. It's kind of like, I don't know, trying to do homework, but like checking your emails and social media accounts every 5 minutes. It just destroys your attention. Because it just goes to too many different places at once, and your brain's like, excuse me, what the I decided to, I think, try to focus on just getting this cube, and somehow it ended up working. I don't know how long I paused for there. So after I did that, I was just like, okay, kind of just go back to this one. And that's what I did. And it took me 59 minutes and 40 seconds in total, which was actually much slower than I expected. I was aiming for like around 55 minutes, but the reason why I aimed for around 55 minutes was so that I had that like, I guess, 5-minute room for error in case something went pretty bad, which was my execution in this case, so it did pay off. But yeah, it was much closer than I expected with 20 seconds to spare. And yeah, when I took the blindfold off, as you probably know, I'm not very used to seeing like almost every single cube solved. So when I saw that like one messed up cube and everything else is like solved, I was just like, wait, what, really? I think someone was like going like, oh, Oceanic record, like at the end, but I don't think I was really, aware of it, because I'm just not used to, you know, seeing 29 out of 30 cubes solved. And yeah, it was my personal best like overall by like 2 points, so I'm just like, what? Yeah, like a lot closer than I was like anticipating, but wow. Yeah, I'm really happy with the attempt, obviously, and as a lot of people point out, including I guess myself figuring out, it's a complete contrast to my attempt at Japan Championship, where I got 1 out of 30, and also like the interesting thing was that the packs progressively got worse, but here it started off sort of bad, but it progressively got better and I recovered, so it's just a really nice contrast with the Japan Championship, where I solved all the cubes I didn't at Japan, essentially. So moving forwards, I still like am convinced that I need to switch to like a review system where my reviews are a bit more, I guess, spaced out. But I feel like I keep getting interrupted with competitions, and I feel like I need to prepare like decently for those to have a decent chance at a record. So I always just wind up switching back to my old system, then going back to a new one, then switching back to an old one. Once again, this is like my attention slingshotting from place to place, but on a more like, I guess, macro scale. I just want to spend like a month, at least a month or a month and a half, just like getting used to this new system for multi-blind. And once I'm really confident with that, then I'll start competing again, because otherwise this like attention slingshotting thing is just gonna make me stagnate our progress, because I feel like I was already able to get this kind of results at 30 cubes like several episodes ago. So I really want to push this new one for like at least a month, and hopefully I can get 30 cubes with it underneath the hour, and I'll start competing again once again. So yeah, that's pretty much my plan for the week after the competition, which is this week. Probably just take a break, then just get right back into it, because that's just how I roll. Question of the week is, have you broken your overall personal best for anything in the competition before? Let me know. Anyway, see ya.